Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing okay today. A couple of days ago, I went to Gleason's gym, spoke to the trainers in there.
No, he's gonna use angles on him.
Going backwards, forwards,
Forward.
going back and down.
He's gonna move, then he's gonna just sit down and bang with it.
I'll leave the link up here. If you didn't see that video, check that out. This video is going to be my prediction and fight breakdown of what will probably be one of the best fights we can see. It's almost guaranteed that this is for all the belts, but it's for far more than that. It's for legacy, bragging rights, belts, undisputed. It's just an absolutely amazing fight. Let's talk about it.
Boxing.
Alright, shout out to all the subscribers. Thank you for watching. Big up to anybody new locked in. I really appreciate it. The fight is here. Anytime the boxing schedule just gets better, my mood gets better. And that's not to say I'm not in a good mood. I'm always in a good mood. But especially lately, boxing is just flourishing. And it's been amazing. And I'm just soaking it all in. And I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys all get the chance to watch this fight, because this is going to be one for the history books. And we're going to talk about the particulars in this video. I'm going to ramble a little bit, and we're going to talk. I just got finished watching the press conference. Very interesting stuff. They both looked a little bit drawn. I know the weigh-in's tomorrow. That's kind of par for the course, but I don't think I've seen Bud Crawford look as drawn. Perhaps I'm wrong, but they both looked a little drawn. Do you agree? Because I was a bit surprised. Obviously, they looked a bit angry. You know, the fight's just a couple days away, and they've got to do these media obligations, which I'm sure they could do without, but tensions are running high. The fans, I don't think I've seen a press conference before when the fighters and the trainers were going at it with the fans. That was quite funny. You know, like it was back and forth between basically, well, Derek James and Bud and fans. And look, at the end of the day, that's all part of it. And the hard work's done. Training camp's obviously done. Weigh-ins yet to be done. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, you can sometimes get something out from press conferences. But these two guys are going to be ready. They are going to be ready to fight. And they're going to put on an amazing show for us. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So let's get into the particulars, right? Because I've been doing, you know, a lot of thinking about this fight, and you know, I honestly think it can go a few ways. Shout out to anybody that voted on that poll that I put up. Most were in favour of Spence, ever so slightly. Stoppage. Crawford stoppage was next. They were neck and neck, and then on points was after that. You know, I can see all of those, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? I personally, I'll get into my prediction a little bit later, but let's talk about Errol's jab, all right? Because that's going to be a key part in this fight, right? He's got a fantastic jab. What makes it so good is his commitment to it as well, I think, you know. It's a hard, sturdy volume jab that he just relentlessly throws at you because he's trying to get to you and attack your body. But it's his commitment to it, like I said, but it's his desire to break that area into the danger zone where, you know, he's fully aware he might get countered or might get hit, or even if he does get countered, he's still coming in with that jab. And that is a talent. That's a skill might be the wrong word, but that's a desire in here. And that's what makes Spence, one of the reasons what makes him so good, is because he doesn't ever, you know, because he use a cliche, he doesn't ever give up, but he's constantly believing in what he's doing. And he's believing in his jab, and he knows at some point he's going to break that seal, and he knows at some point he's going to be in that position where he can land those body shots, and that's where he's the assassin. He wants to stop you from moving so much, beat down on that body, break you down, get you to the ropes. We all know this, but it's his commitment to that jab. And the Kell Brook fight is a good example of that, actually, because he was getting countered and timed, and, you know, essentially probably maybe losing 4-2, or, you know, I'd have to go back and score it, but he was definitely getting you know, beat to the punch, shall we say. And the question is, well, Bud Crawford will probably be able to time his jab. How much will he time it? How much effect will it have when he does? Because Bud Crawford, you would think, will be able to step back and shoot his shots. What position will he be in? Will he be in southpaw? Probably. Will he be in orthodox? We know he can fight both. I thought he might go to orthodox because Kell Brook had a lot of success timing Spence's jab, but they fight a little differently. You know, he's got that step back countering maneuver with the uppercuts and good head movement and just good timing. His brain works a little bit faster than Errol Spence's, all right? It's that computer. Yeah, the processing works a little bit faster. He's got the best. You know, we talk about his IQ, and we'll talk about that in depth a little bit later, because that's the fascinating part for me, how he's going to control that IQ, because IQ and bravado don't really go hand in hand, do you know what I mean? So is this going to be the fight where he's going to tame his bravado? But the jab for Spence and timing it for Crawford, Crawford's step back, countering, uppercuts. I think the uppercut is going to be an important punch. I actually thought it was going to be when he fought Porter, and I called that in the pre-fight build-up. I said he's going to time Porter because of the uppercut, right? Porter tends to come in. He's a little clumsy when he comes in, when his feet are a little wide and, you know, his hands are a little down. And I was like, there's an uppercut waiting for him. But with Spence, he's a little more tidy when he comes on with his attack. His chin's down a little bit better. He's got more balance. And he's, well, I don't know if he's stronger than Porter, but that's going to be an intrigue for me. Is Crawford going to be able to time as well as he did Porter? You know? Spence can fight going backwards too. So when I think this fight is going to have so many layers to it, you know, I really do. It's going to, I think, you know, some people in my gym from that interview I spoke about there at the beginning, you know, they were saying he's just going to walk him down and beat him up and bang with him. You think he's going to counterpunch him, get him out of there? He's going to break.
He's going to beat the shit out of him and get him out of his face.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I think he's going to do. Yeah, he's going to move, then he's going to just sit down and bang with him.
You think he's going to bang with Spence? Huh. Interesting. I personally don't see that. You know, whether he's going to be forced to bang with him is another question. And shout out to my trainer, former trainer, but friend now. He was saying, you know, he's gonna make him bang with him. Spence is gonna break him down and get to him. Light up that body. The body will shut down the legs. The legs will shut down the mind, and then that's when, you know, the spider's web. Always refer to like pressure fighters. You know, you're in a spider's web basically, and you don't have anywhere to move, and they just start coming in on you and just go to work and take you apart. You know, the biggest question, which I've been saying, is what happens when that animal instinct of Bud gets triggered, yeah? And he pulls those faces and he wants to start fighting, and he does start fighting, and you know he gets into that mold when he did against Mean Machine, and he starts to take on a bigger man, because Errol Spence is not Mean Machine, all right? He's probably just as strong, and even Bud Crawford admitted to him being strong. He was like, Mean Machine's a strong dude. Errol Spence is a strong dude, and you know, if Bud fights Spence like that, you would. I don't think that's a good idea. I personally, I was watching the Postal Fight the other day, back in 2016. Ironically, that's the last time Crawford didn't knock anybody out was against Victor Postal. Yes, that was at 140. Yes, his legs were a little bit better, fresher, younger. I get all that, but there were moments in that fight where Postal was trying to egg him on. I don't know if that's the term used in America, but you know, just rile him up and just like, you know, pull the faces. And Bud Crawford did not buy into that, and that was his first pay-per-view, you know, stage. And you know, it was his big fight. Well, it wasn't a big fight. It was you know, that wasn't really a pay-per-view fight in the first place. But that was the big stage for him. Okay, and there were a couple of moments where Bud either got touched or was trying to get goaded in, and he didn't do it. You know, he didn't do it, and I'm wondering if he's going to draw something from that, because I think he has to personally. I personally think he has to box a bit more and be obviously more intelligent. That's a basic thing to say, but at the end of the day, it's actually very intelligent, because that is boxing. Is don't get drawn into a fight unless you absolutely have to, and Spence will probably make him. But how much damage will Spence do once he does make him, and how much off the game plan will Crawford go once he does engage? You know, those exchanges, man. When an exchange happens, don't blink, and that's going to be one of those magical moments in life, in sport. That moment when these two guys put their feet down, get their chins down, and start exchanging. I would favor Spence in an exchange. Yeah, balance again. Crawford's more wiry, and you know he's don't think he's as strong. I know he's strong. He doesn't have as good a chin as Spence. So you got to be smart. And I'm wondering, is this fight, is he going to draw some influence and some inspiration from when he fought Postal? I know Postal's not Spence, but you would think if Crawford just stuck to his boxing and just was able to time Spence, minimized the engagement. If Spence does, you know, not break him down, but break the seal, get to him, is he going to have a good enough clinch game? Because this is where Spence excels. He's amazing at holding your guard, bullying you, using his base, which is when your feet are under you, yeah, and pushing your opponents, holding like your arms and like using the guard manipulation, grabbing them, whacking them to the body. You know, he's brutal. He's so good at it, and that is a skill that Crawford doesn't quite have. And that is going to be really interesting. But will Crawford try to bang with him then? Or will he tie him up, turn him, get back on his jab essentially, or using his step back game? These are all really important factors for me, because he's got more tools in the kit, you know? Crawford does. We all talk about Spence being basic. I called him beautifully basic. He's a beautifully basic fighter. But what he does tremendously well. But where he excels in skill is on the inside, as all the stuff I've just mentioned. So that would be, for me, if Crawford fought him on the inside like that, that would be suicide. Boxing suicide. So, but then again, I was second guessing myself again, because three trainers in the gym that I go to, that I respect, were like, he's gonna bang with Crawford, with Spence. And I was like, really? Huh. Well, two of them said it, actually. Leon Cat Taylor specifically. He's a good trainer. He knows his boxing. He was a tremendous fighter. And he's like, you know, he sees things sometimes like on the side of the ring, you know, he'll just call out like punches and it'll just happen. I'm just like, wow. So he sees stuff, you know, that most don't. And that's why when I said that, I was like, okay, I'll pull the clip up.
Yeah, he gonna move, then he gonna just sit down and bang with him.
Usually, I do a bit more editing, and I try to dress up these videos and try to make them as professional as I can. The video I did earlier today and last night took me a bit longer than I thought. It's Friday tomorrow. I wanted to get this video up tonight, so I'm going to get put it up tonight with as little editing as I can. But normally going forward, if you've been used to the editing, that will still be there. I just need a bit of time. That's all. But for me, the prediction for me is, you know, with all that being said, I do think Crawford is going to be able to contain his animalistic dog. I do. I think it's going to come out in moments, but tempering that and not getting drawn into that has to be part of the game plan, surely. You know, like it just. But then again, you know, you fight fire with fire. Sometimes it can come off, you know. Actually, I was talking to my former trainer again about, you know, like anger doesn't win fights. Sometimes it does, not very often, but it can. But you would, you know, you don't want to gamble like that. You don't need to gamble like that when you've got the skill set to not gamble. You just use your skills, use your IQ, use that computer processor, use the timing. You know, what a fight! What a fight! We're in for a treat, man. We really are. But look, I'm an objective dude. This is an objective channel. If you're new to this, welcome along. I know there's been a few new subs recently. Shout out to you guys. Much love. But I'm a very objective person, so I just see what I think and feel. I don't have any favorites, and I just call it how I think it is. I want the best man to win. I want these guys to come out healthy and safely, and us to get a great fight. That's all we can ask for. I've always said that. With that being said, I'm picking Bud Crawford on points. I think he's going to outskill, outmaneuver, and outthink himself. Really, he's gonna not outthink himself, but I think he's going to contain his animal and use it in spots. Use it wisely. Attack Spence, or when he needs to, counterpunch him when he needs to, and not engage on the inside as much as he should, and then just see the fight out. I think Spence is going to get hurt. I think Bud might get buzzed as well. I think they both could get buzzed. I can't see Spence getting on the deck. I mean, he's got such a good chin. Against Ugas, he got clipped. I know that, but he wasn't. The punches you don't see, trust me, they're the ones that hurt the most. And he still took it, and he still came back that round. He's got a great chin. The only other person to hurt him was Latte, and he still came back 30 seconds later. Latte can punch. I was in the gym with Latte when he came to Brooklyn, and I would watch him punch the bag, and I could just feel that crack, and I was like, my gosh. He hit Spence with his hardest right hook. Yeah, he wobbled Spence, but Spence shook it off and came straight back. That's how good of a chin he is. And Bud, obviously we've seen him get wobbled against Gambo. We've seen him get a little Mean Machine had him no, I don't know, he had him down, didn't he? His glove hit the canvas, I think. Somebody else maybe, but I'd expect both guys to probably get hurt. Maybe one hit the deck, maybe both. Tremendous fight. We are in for a tremendous fight. Decent undercard as well. Let me know your comments, please. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. It's got to come from here though, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I've got so many videos coming. I'm actually going to leave a little clip at the end with some of the videos I've got coming, because I'm going to take this channel to a new stratosphere at the end of this year. By the end of this year, I've got so much love and passion for what I'm doing right now. I'm just going to go for it. And I appreciate all of you guys that have subbed. I appreciate anybody that's watched anything. Whatever comment you've made, negative, positive, it's all part of the process, and I appreciate all of it. That is it from me. Boxing on the Edge. I've got to go and get this video out. I really hope you guys have a lovely weekend. It's Thursday today. I'm getting so excited for this. 2 more nights and we are there for one of the best fights in my boxing lifetime. Let me know your thoughts. I'm out of here.
Boxing.
On it.